Good morning and welcome to KidNuz. I'm Tori. Today is Monday, May 17th, 2021, and we begin with the most expensive regular season ticket in the history of football. And it probably comes as no surprise that Tom Brady has something to do with it. The game in question is for his first return to the home of the New England Patriots since he ditched them for Tampa Bay and the Buccaneers. The Brady-Coach Belichick Showdown will take place Sunday night, October 3rd in Foxborough, Massachusetts. Prices are expected to rise and fall between now and then, but the going price is already breaking records. Getting a ticket right now costs more than $1,000, and that's for the worst seat in the stadium. The United States no longer has a monopoly on Mars. Over the weekend, China landed its own rover on the Red Planet, becoming the only nation, other than the U.S., to successfully survive the notorious 7 minutes of terror on entry. The Zhurong spacecraft, which was named for the country's ancient god of fire, is now cruising in a vast plain that may have been the site of a former ocean. Like the U.S. missions, it will look to the past for evidence of water and life, and to the future for possible human missions. But its area of interest is hundreds of miles away from, and likely won't cross paths with, the U.S.'s Perseverance, its chopper Ingenuity, or the veteran rover Curiosity anytime soon. Confused about the CDC's new mask guidelines? Get in line. Most of us spent the weekend trying to make sense of the sudden change, especially since some states, many big cities, a few stores, and a fair number of people aren't quite ready to go back to our barefaced ways. Those who aren't sure when, how, or even if mask rules need to be enforced. But while the messaging is muddy for fully vaccinated adults, it's pretty darn clear for kids. On Saturday, the CDC announced that schools should continue to require face masks at all times by all people in school facilities for the rest of this academic year. New rules for back to school in the fall are expected in the next few weeks. A 10-year-old who once lived in a New York homeless shelter just called checkmate on a bunch of adults. Taunitalua Adewumi is now a U.S. chess master. It's an outstanding achievement, one that he's had his eyes on for a while, but his recent wins over 2 chess experts, a master and an international master, were enough to push him into the elite category. Tawny only began playing chess 3 years ago when he and his family fled Nigeria for a life in the U.S. Now he practices 11 hours a day and can envision 20 moves ahead. He aspires to become the world's youngest grandmaster, a goal that will require many more wins. But the chess prodigy is also wise, saying that losing is the way of winning for yourself because it gives you a chance to learn from your mistakes. In other KidNuz notes, the Kentucky Derby winner, called into question after testing positive for a banned substance, was cleared of suspicion in the nick of time for another big race. Medina Spirit ran in the Preakness on Saturday, but all the negative attention might have gotten to him. A horse named Rombauer took the win. Medina Spirit came in third. 16 months after passing away in a helicopter crash, Kobe Bryant is now in basketball's Hall of Fame. His wife Vanessa accepted the honor on his behalf Saturday night and said, quote, "He's still winning." The other players inducted were former Minnesota Timberwolves and Boston Celtics forward Kevin Garnett, San Antonio Spurs forward Tim Duncan, and WNBA's Indiana Fever legend Tamika Catchings. And stranded riders on a loop-de-loop roller coaster in Phoenix, Arizona have quite a story to tell. The Desert Storm ride stalled out on a steep curve. No one was injured, although one 12-year-old says the rescue was scary because they had to jump from one ladder to another just to get down. That's it for KidNuz. Now, the KidNuz quiz. What NFL game is already setting records for regular season ticket prices? Tom Brady's return to New England against the Patriots. What country has become the second to land on Mars? China. What is the CDC's rule on masks in schools? Keep them on the rest of this academic year. How old is the latest chess master in the U.S.? Tawny is 10. In One for the Road, a potential game changer if your dog's breath is worse than his bite. Scientists at the University of Arizona discovered harmless bacteria that whisks away the stench that comes from Charlie's choppers. Unlike other products that only mask the smell, this new treat cancels canine halitosis and leaves behind a minty scent that lasts for an hour. Upetsia has yet to announce when the product will hit shelves because the scientists behind it are still trying to stretch the relief to half a day. Before we go, it's time to give a KidNuz shout out to our teachers, starting with Mrs. McKinsey and her rock stars at Lone Star Elementary in Jacksonville, Florida, Mrs. May at HC Mines in Warren, Ohio, Mrs. Torres and our hardworking students at Vista del Futuro in El Paso, Texas, Miss Howard at Liberty Public Schools in Mounds, Oklahoma, and Mrs. Hamden at River Trail School in Gurnee, Illinois. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to rate and review us wherever you get your podcasts, and we might use some of your comments on our website and emails. We'll see you back here for more KidNuz tomorrow morning.